MP for the Eurosceptic FPO Alexander Petschnig, who is responsible for economy and taxation, said taxation must remain a matter of the nation-states. His comments, reported in Austrian news outlet BVZ, come as there have been discussions surrounding budget preparations and how the EU will salvage the money lost from the UK leaving the bloc. MP for the FPO has said the EU should keep out of what countries are taxed on February 5, 2018. Michel, Barnier and David Davis head to Downing Street for lunch meeting. Taxation must remain a matter of the nation-states. Alexander Petschnig, the European Commission will consider whether tax should be adopted for plastic packaging to reduce waste as well as to plug the gap left by Brexit. In addition to more tax revenue, the EU would have to cut certain programs to save cash after the UK leaves the bloc. The MP said that some of the EU Commission's solutions were unacceptable, such as including the CO2 taxes or digitisation fees for large companies. Mr. Petschnig said the EU is following a wrong path regarding several matters. On the one hand, there is the danger that EU bureaucracy will levy new taxes and levies for purely fiscal reasons without knowledge of or consideration of regional circumstances. On the other hand, the envisioned tax items should be questioned. The EU is madly searching for ways to plug the budget shortfall. The EU, the nation-states and also Burgenland are spending billions on subsidies and start-up funding for digitization, which would be completely thwarted if the EU taxed its own subsidies again. Nation-states should not let the levy monopoly in the sense of the subsidiary principle be taken from them under no circumstances. This comes off the back of the revelation Brexit could damage Germany by costing the nation billions in lost subsidies. Another idea of a new levy being considered by EU finance bosses to cover the black hole in contributions made by Britain after Brexit is the travel tax. EU Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker has called for the Commission to debate the austerity measures at the next meeting on February 14. Diplomats told German newspaper Handelsblatt. Theresa May is leading the UK out of the EU. MP Mr. Petschnig also said that Burgenland, a state in eastern Austria, is particularly interested in making sure that Eastern European neighbours can quickly raise the standard. He said the wealth gap at the border between Burgenland and Hungary is not unproblematic for Burgenland in many respects, so it would be much better for everyone involved to cut the so-called accession aid to Turkey, which meant that billions of euros were spent. Additional reporting by Monica Pallenberg.